Hello everybody and welcome to the Hunter-Gatherer channel, and today is Sunday the 13th. It's the last day of gun season and we're just coming home from church and we've got a special surprise for you guys. We got to make a stop to my nephew Caleb's house and it's my brother and sister-in-law Jay and Noel's house also. I guess it's their house first and he lives there. Anyway, we got an amazing call last night just as we were leaving to go do some Christmas shopping, and the story is Caleb shot a deer, his first deer ever, and he was super excited. His mom just got home from grocery shopping. He came running up to her out of the woods and just bear hugged her, and she's like, "What's going on? Is everybody okay?" kind of thing. And he's like, "I got the big one." So we're going by and we're going to get a behind the scenes discussion. We're going to get the story straight from his mouth. And I wish we were there last night on the recovery, but I was already headed somewhere else. So this is as close as we can get to right at the recovery. So stay tuned. We are going to see, well, you're going to see it. I'm not going to spoil the surprise, but like you said, you heard, he said, "I got the big one." All right, we'll see you there. All right, everybody, here we are. This is Caleb, the deer slayer. You know, every year he just whacks them like crazy. Caleb, how long have you been hunting?
Since I was 13.
Since you were 13?
Yeah.
Okay. And you're 24,
24.
right? Persistence, people.
11
Persistence.
years.
You don't always get, go ahead. You don't always get one the first year. You don't always get one the 5th or the 8th or the 10th. Sometimes it's the 11th year. Okay. You got to go show us the big boy. Is that what we're calling him? That's what I heard.
Swamp monster.
The swamp buck. All right. Okay, now we're going to go with the story. So first, I don't know, I'm not really great at this, but we're going to maybe do some question and answer. So, your gun is
A Remington 870, 20 gauge.
20 gauge, and you got that from your grandfather, right?
Yeah.
All right. Grandpa Jerry,
Grandpa Jerry.
that's the gun.
That is the gun.
All right. Caleb's been hunting in this, well, let's get out here. I'll show him kind of the area. This is behind the house.
Right out back.
Right out back. It's swampy, it's brushy, it's messy, and you get in there and you're not seeing much. You're seeing branches and twigs until maybe you get out to the edge, out of the swamp and the swale grass and stuff.
Yeah.
So you're out there sitting.
Yeah, I was sitting in a beach chair only about that far off the ground.
Nice. Caleb has been down to North Carolina doing this thing in the summertime and just kind of hanging out. So he's got this, beach bum attitude, So he's in the beach chair. I don't know if there was flip-flops involved, but he's out there ready. How many days have you been out hunting in the swamp this year, Caleb?
Two.
Two or three? Okay.
2 or 3.
I know you guys are pretty consistent, though. We're going to go out there and sit, and maybe we're going to see something, maybe we're not. But if you see one, it's usually going to be a pretty good one, and you're only going to have a couple seconds, right? I mean,
Yeah.
How did it work out this time?
I didn't even hear him coming.
Oh.
I saw him. I was probably about maybe 2 or 3 minutes from getting up and coming back to the house.
Always happens like that. Always been like, I'm going to get up and leave. No, I'll give it a couple more. You never know. Okay, so you're sitting there. You hadn't seen anything.
No.
How much visual do you have? Like, are you out right at the edge? Did you get past the thicket and you're out in the grass, or you're in the thicket?
I'm right on the edge on the railroad bed.
Okay.
Back there.
So there's an old railroad that runs through this area. What's it called? Come on. No, well, it's Kinney Swamp, but what was the old railroad? Do you remember what it was called?
No idea.
It was the Shawmut, right? Yep. The old Shawmut runs through here. And so they've got one spot that's not all brush that you can get up to, and it probably gives you a little bit of height advantage where you got a visual.
A little bit, yeah.
Okay. So you're sitting out there on the edge of the Shawmut in the beach chair, feet kicked up, just hanging out, thinking, what were you thinking? It's the day, so yesterday, today's the last day of gun season. So yesterday you're thinking, gonna give it a last hurrah.
Yep.
See what we See what we see. I
happens.
mean, you got to at least try. You can't shoot him from the couch.
No.
Oh, you can almost shoot him from your couch.
Well,
Like,
yeah,
almost, but not quite.
from the deck.
Yeah, from the deck. So you're sitting there, about to get up, and I'm giving another 2 minutes. I'm getting up, and then what happens?
I see this huge deer coming in from my right, and I kind of start to freak out a little bit.
Yeah.
Um,
Have you ever shot at a deer before?
one other time.
One time.
Back
In the
there-
same area.
back
Now, was
there
that with a
too.
crossbow or was that with a gun?
No, that was with a gun. It was just a doe
Okay.
running really fast, and I had about like a 5-foot window to shoot at it, and I think I was like 14 years old.
Yeah. So was this shot any different? Like you got super excited, you're starting to freak out a little bit because you're like,
It
oh,
was-
this is
It
happening.
was very different because I was sitting down.
Okay. Okay, and he wasn't running full bore.
No,
he was
he was-
sneaking through.
He was just kind of walking through.
Okay, so it's coming from right to left, and
He's going this way.
Okay, he's coming across from left to going to the
He
right.
wasn't walking into the wind. He's walking away from the wind.
So the wind was kind of blowing over his back, kind of
Yeah.
thing. Which a lot of bucks will do that. They want to see where they're going and smell what's behind them, so they've got a little bit of advantage. So instead of just smelling in the wind and not knowing what's behind him. Okay, so he's walking with the wind at his back, and he's just kind of checking things out. Caleb's sitting all stealthily and quiet, and okay.
So yeah, he started coming this way and got to one opening, and I was getting ready to pull my gun up, and then he stopped and looked right at me, and I kind of froze for a couple seconds. Then he kind of started to walk around some other brush parts, which was probably the only reason why I was able to shoot the deer, because I was able to actually get.
So
my
you got
gun
into
up.
the brush and you were able to pull up and get ready. Okay.
He didn't see me pull up or anything. Got ready, turned the safety off. Got about 2 or 3 steps on the other side of the brush, and it was wide open. Stopped him. Just boom. Pulled the
Put it
trigger.
right on him. All right. So, is your heart racing like crazy? Were
Oh
you...
yeah, I started shaking.
Oh yeah. So you hit him. Did he flinch? Did he jump? What did he do?
He flinched, and then he turned back around and went
Right back where he came from, or
almost
or
right
straight
back
out?
where he came from, but more straight out into the swamp grass.
Okay. All right. And did you go over to where he was when you shot to see if you hit him? Did you
Yeah.
know you hit him right away?
I knew I had hit him. I didn't know exactly how good I hit him.
Okay.
Because I just
You weren't sure.
Yeah, my adrenaline was going
Yeah, yeah.
at that point.
How close do you think he was?
He's probably 30, 40 yards, 30,
Okay.
40 yards.
That's a pretty good shot in that thick stuff. You usually don't get that far of a shot, so you
Yeah.
must have a good spot back there.
But yeah.
Okay, so then he takes off, and then what do? You're like freaking out, shaking, and you think, was your dad out there hunting too, or was he?
No, he was on the other side of the road. He was actually walking down to come to our.
Okay,
end
so he
of the
was over on
trails.
in the state land and
Yeah, he
working
was
his way down.
He was crossing the road to go into a spot over here at the end of our trails.
Okay,
And if I hadn't have shot him the way he was going, I think he was.
he
probably
might have
gonna
made it right
walk-
over there
He
too.
was gonna walk right.
So
past me.
you're playing defense.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not getting that shot.
Yeah.
Okay, so you shoot him and you're like freaking out, and then what's your first thing? You're like, I gotta go find dad, or I gotta go see mom, or I gotta go get somebody to help me, or what was the?
Well, I just sat there for I don't know, it was probably a good 10 minutes and waited for. Dad had radioed to me and asked me what had happened, and I told him, and he said he was gonna make his way down. He was walking down the road to make sure it didn't squirt out and go across the street to the state land.
Okay.
But after a little bit, he walked back here, and we went to where I had shot him and saw the blood.
Saw the
and
sign
hair.
of blood. Nice. Yes. And that's the first time to see the blood and hair, and you're like,
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah.
I hit him. Nice. So yeah. And then I heard what I heard. So we're at our house. We get a phone call. My father-in-law was actually there saying, just talking to us about some things. And he just got back from hunting. And my sister-in-law, Noelle, calls and says, Dad, are you busy? We're going to need some help. And Joy says she thought that there was a serious problem going on. She thought somebody got hurt or there was something going on. She sounded very solemn or very serious.
Yeah.
And she's like, Caleb shot a deer. And the story was, Noelle got home from grocery shopping, and Caleb came running up from the woods. I don't know if you had a gun or if you set it down or something. And went running up and just bear hugged her, and she's like, what's going on? Everything okay? And you're like, I got the big one. Right?
Yep.
Yes, got the big one.
Got the big one.
So the story about this buck is that everybody's been seeing this buck, right?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's the one I've seen about a quarter mile up. There were some oak trees right on the edge of the road, and I saw like 6 or 8 doe and him eating at like 7 o'clock at night one time. I came driving down through here. He's right there in the headlights. It was right before gun season started. And I think there's a lot of people. There's a neighbor down the street that has been seeing him. You guys have been seeing him. I'm sure the Kellogg's up the street have been seeing him. There's a hunting camp right across the street. This buck made it till the second to last day of season.
I saw him out. It was probably like 11 o'clock in the afternoon. Like, I don't know. It was like second week of bow season.
Okay.
Walking on the side of the road after a doe.
Ah, yeah.
So that was all the way back in November.
Right. Yeah, so he's definitely, been spreading his genetics around. There's going to be a whole bunch of little swamp bucks running around, so that's good. Was there more than one shot when you guys... Okay, let's see recovery. You guys saw the blood. You start trailing him.
Yep. So we started trailing him, and we just kind of left some... We didn't know how much blood we were going to find, so we started leaving gloves and hats and spots where we saw blood.
Right. Here's a tip. In my hunting gear, I have toilet paper for, like, the normal reasons why you might need toilet paper. Figure it out, people.
Yeah.
But I also use it as you're blood trailing. Just pull it out and just rip off a little, don't use a whole sheet. You got to conserve that stuff, especially, during a pandemic. You never know if you can find toilet paper. So maybe a quarter of a sheet, and you just hang it like on a tree branch out here. It'll be a little tougher because you can't see long distances, but if you're going through the woods, you can hang it on like a little branch that's hanging down, and as you're looking back behind you, you can see where you've come, and it kind of helps you decide where to continue to go if you can't find blood. Right. So you're putting gloves and hats because you want to mark last blood just in case you lose it. You can kind of get... Okay, so you guys...
Our starting point back.
You guys kept it with like hats and gloves, though. We didn't throw shirts or socks or,
No.
Wasn't like... Okay. So...
There was a chair and a bag involved.
Okay. There's always a bag, at least a bag involved, maybe a chair. Okay, so you guys are going out through. How much sign is there? Is it pretty good?
There's pretty good sign of it, and we followed it right out. Really good trail of it, right out to the edge of the grass and the thick part.
Okay.
And then our flashlights died.
Oh no.
And it was dark enough to where we really couldn't see that great. So I ran back up here, and I had to call Uncle Jeff, who has like 7 flashlights, and he brought a couple bright ones with him.
Nice.
And while I was waiting up here for him, Dad had walked just a little bit farther after we had stopped and radioed to me that he had found it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Jay, you can't find it without the guy that shot it?
Well, he didn't totally find it. He just saw it sticking out of the...
Okay. He didn't go do the walk up and everything. Okay, good. It's a good one. So that's cool. So he knew where it was, but flashlights were needed anyways because you need to, you want to see what you got. And it was done. Just one shot.
Oh yeah, one shot.
We don't waste bullets around here.
Yeah,
You don't.
No.
I mean, bullets are hard to find during a pandemic. You never know.
Shotgun shells.
Yeah, they're a difficult thing. So you don't want to waste those suckers. So one shot every 11 years, 10 or 11 years. That's what you need. Yep. And so you got the buck, and then it's you got to experience your first field dressing, deer gutting that you've ever done. Yeah. Did you get to do it, or did?
Yeah, I did. I didn't do all of it, but because I'd never done it before.
Yeah.
I did a lot of it.
Good. All right, and
yeah, it didn't go very far from where he shot him.
No.
Probably only about 40, 45 yards from where.
Very good.
From where we got him.
Very cool. So, I don't know if I can blow it up any. All right, Caleb, were you out in this vicinity? I just want to zoom on my finger.
Yeah, kind of like that opening, just a little to the
to the left of the opening, out in that thicket.
I still have the chair out there in the little pop-up.
Do you want to go out to the chair?
We can. If you want to.
Let's go. Are we gonna get soaked?
No.
We'll
it's
find
not.
out. Let's go. Hey girl, we've got a horse here. She's a beauty. Could have used her to drag the deer out, but they opted not to because, you know, they want to cheat. Caleb needs to work out.
Yeah.
Were you coming? Hey, when I saw you yesterday, were you coming from work?
No, I was coming from birthday present shopping.
Oh.
For Mom.
Okay. Yep. Birthday's coming up. So we saw Caleb yesterday and we were like, why isn't he hunting? What the heck? But he was doing the right thing. Go do some birthday present shopping, then go kill a deer. So this is the Shawmut right here, right? This is the spot. Oh yeah. Listen, people, I mean, do you really need camo or do you need the beach chair? This is Caleb in the beach chair. Now, this is the sign or the scene of the crime here. And this is a nice little spot right here. So he was, where was he?
He was walking from that way.
So the taller stuff over
Yep.
here?
Yep, he was walking this way, and right here is when he stopped
Okay.
and looked at me, and then
So you just saw probably antlers or something come through and
yeah,
you're like,
right,
oh.
right over
at
there
that
I started
tallest
seeing
little tree.
antlers in his
Yep.
head and part of his neck. Then he got over here, stopped, then he went around this little part of brush right there.
This thicker spot right here?
Yep.
Okay,
right
so
in
when
the
he went
middle.
behind that, you
That's
were
when I got
you were
my
able to
gun
get your
ready.
gun up.
Yep. He
Patience.
only got about 3 or 4 steps outside of that. Stopped him.
So what'd you do when you stopped? How'd you stop him?
Just let out a blat thing.
You got to do it.
Blat.
Oh yeah, there we go. Meh. That's how I do it too.
Yep.
All right.
And yeah.
And he
Right
stopped
there.
right there. You were on him, and safety was already off, and boom,
Yep.
took him. So another thing about Caleb is he's ambidextrous. So you shoot right-handed with your gun? Yesterday?
No,
Yesterday
not
you did?
yesterday.
Yesterday you were lefty?
Yesterday
Okay.
I was lefty.
So you were sitting in the chair. Was it aimed this way like it is now, or?
No, I was just sitting.
Well, that's
like
good
this.
setup though for a lefty right there,
Yeah.
right? Because you're able to aim at that angle.
Yeah.
So I was wondering that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does. What is it? Baseball you throw righty, football you throw lefty,
No, this
other way
switch,
around.
Yeah.
Yeah. He can't throw as good a spiral with the left hand as he can the right hand.
Yeah.
So, anyway, so yeah, you had the chair set up good with the left hand. Got the good netting right here. That's trying to block the bright blue out.
Yeah.
That's good. I hear. I mean, I'm not going to change up your really awesome hunting setup, but I have heard, and you guys let us know if I'm right or wrong in the comments. I've heard that deer see blue really well. So
Yeah,
a lot of people.
That went through my head as I was bringing it out here. I was like, I don't think this is a very good
I think
color.
blue is the one. Like orange is okay, you know, but blue I've heard because everybody's like,
That's why
oh,
I
people are
brought
wearing
this.
blue jeans. But yeah, that's good. All right, I'm gonna go out here and see what it looks like. I mean, when Caleb was behind that, I'm sure you're taking up all the blue,
Probably.
and he's just like, I've seen that tree about 400 times, and I think maybe there's something next to it, but I can't tell. All right, we're out in the brush, and this is good. There's some deer sign right there. So we're gonna see what the trail looks like. I mean, there's little trails all through the grass here. And he was back farther probably. This is a nice spot, Caleb. Man, why have I never come out here and shot your deer before? So he walked through here. I'm trying to figure out what trail he would have been on. He wasn't really on a trail, right? I think bucks just do what they want to do.
He just kind of puts him through.
Yeah. Okay. So he's here. He looks over about this spot at Caleb and says, man,
Right here.
about
Right
there?
here, he looks right at me.
Yeah. And you're like, oh
Like,
crap, he's going to
oh,
see me
no.
and he's going to be gone. I can't move an inch. So here he comes. There is a little bit of a
Yeah.
game trail right here. So he probably came right on this. And right here, Caleb's like, gun getting up. Got the safety off. He comes across. Oh yeah, right here. See that, people? We got a spot of blood right there. We got some hair right there. This is where he was. Caleb says, Matt. Right there, wide open. Took him, and then off he went this way?
Yep, he went right this way, right to the edge of where it starts to get taller, went straight out to the right a little bit, but not far after.
Not far after, he was done. Awesome. Cool, man.
Yeah, we gutted him right out there.
Yeah, coyotes probably have it eaten almost all by now.
No, there was a ton of blood once it got out there.
Yeah, I bet.
It wasn't very hard to find him after that.
Well, that's awesome. So yesterday I was like, it's 50 degrees out. This is terrible. Caleb's like, yes, beach chair, and let's kill big bucks.
Yeah.
Yes.
Could have brought out the umbrella.
Right. Caleb out here, umbrella, got a little bit of, sunblock on the nose, beach ball. You've been awesome. All right. You leaving the beach chair out there just in case your dad wants it, or?
Yeah, just in case.
Yeah, it's good. It's a good spot.
I don't know where he's going today. Yep. So Friday he came home early, and we went out onto that point across the swamp.
Okay. Yeah, way out there.
And I kicked out a 6-point to him.
Ah, it might be the buck I saw the other day. I went out there in the kayak.
Yeah.
From my parents' house, and went up on there. And as I was coming down the right at the end, hey, look at that, Caleb.
Yeah.
You think that's from him?
Oh yeah, that's definitely from him.
Look at that. This is Caleb's buck's rub, and he's hitting this with his brow tine, but his tips are up here banging, making some marks up here, even though he hasn't gotten up that high. So that's pretty cool. Got a little sign post from the buck, says, hey, I'm here, buddy, you got to come out here and find me. So yeah, I was coming right down the end of that ridge, and a buck was coming right up to me.
Yeah.
And he took off and went running down this way, and he stopped right at the edge of the thick stuff and stood there for just a couple seconds. I could have shot him, but I opted not to. Now I told Joy I'd take that shot back.
Yeah.
If I got it.
I didn't realize how open and dry it gets right out there at the end of the point.
Yeah.
It just turns into like a field.
Yeah, you could definitely do just what you did there, and they're gonna hang right on the edge. I mean, that wasn't too far from the opening, but
that's where he was. That's where that 6-point was.
Yeah. Cool.
Dad wasn't in a very good position when I told him it was coming, but
yeah, it's hard when it's so thick like that.
He was far enough away too, but he took a shot. It was probably like at least 100-yard shot, and
yeah.
didn't.
Was it running or?
He was trotting along. He wasn't running, but he was.
I bet you he was running after the shot.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Huh. All right. Well, that's pretty awesome. I saw in the pictures that I got last night, I saw this spot right here, right in the shoulder.
Yep.
And I was like, oh yeah, that's a good shot.
Yep.
And it came, so he must have been quartering a little bit to you, like turned towards him a little bit, because he hit right in the shoulder here, and it came out a little bit behind the shoulder. So he was angled towards you some.
Yeah.
All right. He's a cool one. Trying to get my arm out of the way. It's a nice buck, buddy. Okay, everybody. That's the video of Caleb and his big swamp buck. 11 years and got it done. Now he's part of the club. Is that your sister's? You didn't even show that. This is my niece Kristen's buck. She got years ago.
It's 2013.
Oh yeah.
2013, 14.
7 years ago, and Caleb, I think you can put that inside there. I mean, I'm not saying anything, Kristen, because that's still a nice buck, but she welcomed Caleb to the 8-point club. So that's pretty cool. It's always nice to get part of the 8-point club. I've been, the 2-point club and the 4-point club, 6-point club. Those guys, yeah, that's true. But they kind of don't always like the people in the 8-point club. And sometimes the people in the 8-point club, they get a little jealous of the people in the 10 and 12-point club. Right. But, we try to get there. Yeah. We try to get there. Try to get into, I'm in pretty much almost all of the clubs. I'm probably 4s and 6 points. I've got a lot of them. Yeah. But I'm in the 8-point. I'm in the 7-point club too. Well, anyways, whatever. It's not about me. It's about Caleb's big buck. Awesome. So that's the story. And I was really excited to hear the story. I couldn't wait. I don't know. Hopefully, you guys enjoy big buck stories and, somebody's first deer story. It's always a great thing. And, Caleb's sometimes a little reserved. I was pretty surprised that you were okay with getting on film. That was
I'm
all right.
good.
Yeah. So, but he's sometimes the silent, type that doesn't always, but he's coming out of that, and that's good. He's just finished your last college final last semester.
Last semester, finished it Friday.
Had the final Friday, and then shot his first buck. He was just waiting to
finish school.
That's right. No screwing around here. We got to finish school, and then we shoot our buck.
Yeah.
So that's cool. All right. Hey everybody, thanks for swinging by and checking out the video. Hopefully you liked it. You gotta hit the like button. Share the video if you would. That'd be cool. Let everybody see Caleb's first buck. And subscribe to the channel. Hopefully we can bring other people's first bucks in. Or maybe next year or maybe in a couple days if Caleb wanted to get out with a crossbow, we could see Caleb's second buck.
Second one.
That'd be cool. So anyways, yeah, like, share, subscribe, and comment. Let us know what you think. Tell us your first buck story. Let us know what you think about Caleb. Give him a congratulations. Do whatever you want to do. Keep it cool and clean. Don't bash him on, how small his 8-point is. I know people want to bash people. Yeah, that could have waited another year. Should have let him grow, blah, blah, blah. Well,
I wasn't letting him wait at all.
He's grown enough. All right. Hey, thanks everybody for watching. We love you. God loves you, and we'll see you on the next one. All right. Good job, buddy. Was there one out back there?
No, 2 pheasants just flew
Oh,
out.
what the heck?
Joy scared them off.
Jeez. Here we're worried about deer, and here comes Jay worried about the pheasant.
Caleb, we gotta get some corn. We need to get them the last.
Keep the pheasants out there.
Yeah.
All right. So here's Caleb.
Oh, you can't take pictures of my garage like this.
Jay, we're trying to keep it out of the garage. See, we got it. What do you mean? It looks good.
It's a garage.
It's a garage.
Right. Just a bunch of words.
And at first I couldn't remember which hand I shot him with either.
That's funny.